Hi all, my name is Ryan and welcome to my channel What the Pop, where we discuss pop culture in general and Buffy a lot. If you like what I do, please like, subscribe and click the notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new video. If you have friends that like Buffy, share it with them. It all helps the algorithm. The usual spoiler alert. If you haven't seen Buffy at least once, I may talk about things in each episode that relate to future plot points. So if you don't like spoilers, I suggest you subscribe and come back after you've watched it all. Today, to finish our coverage of Season 1, and before we dive into Season 2, we are looking at the top 10 moments of Buffy Season 1. Number 10. Buffy, Willow and Xander meet in Welcome to the Hellmouth.
But he knows everything, and he brought all these historical volumes and biographies, and am I the single dullest person alive?
Not at all.
Hey, you guys busy? We're interrupting? We're interrupting.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey there.
Buffy, this is Jesse, and that's Xander.
Oh, me and Buffy go way back. Old friends. Very close. Then there was that period of estrangement where I think we were both growing as people, but now here we are like old times. I'm quite moved.
In the context of the show and everything that comes after, this is probably the most important moment in all 7 seasons. Buffy had already met Giles and had fled from him, realising he knew she was the Slayer when he offered her the vampire book. When Buffy approached Willow for help in catching up on her schoolwork, ignoring Cordelia's warning to know and avoid your losers, it was the beginnings of a friendship that would form the foundation of their chosen family. Joined shortly after by Xander and Jesse, may he rest in peace, and then Cordelia, it marked the formation of what Willow and later Spike would call the Slayerettes, but become known as the Scoobies, when Xander used the term Scooby Gang in Season 2 episode What's My Line Part 1. A true family that loved and supported each other, that saved the Slayer numerous times, that thwarted multiple apocalypses, yes, that is the plural, and are why Buffy was a very different Slayer to the Slayers that came before her. Number 9. Principal Snyder is introduced in The Puppet Show. Armin Shimmerman, who plays Snyder, was already a season regular on Deep Space Nine when he took on this role after the death of Principal Flutie. A side note, Armin actually auditioned for the role of Principal Flutie, but it went to Ken Lerner, who is his friend, so he wasn't too disappointed. From the start, Snyder seemed to have a dislike for students in general, resulting in classic lines like,
word these days, discipline. I know Principal Flutie would have said, kids need understanding. Kids are human beings. It's the kind of woolly-headed liberal thinking that leads to being eaten.
A bitter, spiteful character who was acerbic and jaded, but well aware of the nature of the town that it sat on the Hellmouth. He actively covered up supernatural deaths and incidences to help the mayor, who would repay Snyder by eating him when he ascended and became a giant snake demon. Snyder wasn't supposed to last long, as principals were going to die regularly as a running gag on the show, but they liked Snyder so much he survived until the end of Season 3, after he got eaten and the school was blown up on Graduation Day Part 2, and therefore the need for a principal was over. From a viewer perspective, Snyder was just funny, having some of the most fun lines in the show. And though he only appears in 2 episodes in Season 1, it was a hilarious debut appearance. Number 8. Darla is a vampire. Welcome to the Hellmouth. It's the opening scene of the entire series. It's nighttime, and a boy breaks into the school, pretty blonde girl in tow, who we learn later is Darla. As I stated in my discussion on this episode, by every horror trope, we believe she is about to die a horrible and gruesome death. She seems to hear something, says, "What was that?" and he says it's nothing. She says good, vamps out and sinks her teeth into his neck, surprising the hell out of us as she kills him.
There's nobody here.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Okay.
This opening scene, the very first thing we see of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, set the tone for the entire series. Turning genre tropes on its head is the name of the game. And the opening scene basically told us that this was no cliche. This wasn't something we've seen done a million times. This was something fresh and new. Number 7, Giles and Jenny meet. I, Robot, you, Jane. We all love Giles, and one of the things we all wanted to see was Giles happy. So when we started seeing the sparks between him and Miss Calendar in this episode, we all shipped it, particularly because it was the only good thing about the episode. Her quick wit kept him on his toes, and her flirting had him flustered. While this relationship goes through a rocky path when we find out that Jenny knew of Angel's curse and was a descendant of the clan that cursed him in the first place, ultimately Buffy reaches out to Jenny because she knows that Giles misses her, and Buffy doesn't want him to be alone. He deserves happiness. While this relationship would end tragically and break us, while it lasted, we were all for it, cheering it on.
Well, you really are an old-fashioned boy, aren't you?
Well, I don't dangle a corkscrew from my ear.
That's not where I dangle it.
Number 6, Principal Flutie gets eaten by the pack, in the pack.
Get down from there this instant! Oh. Are you insane?
In the 2-part opener, we had already learnt to expect the unexpected. We had a blonde girl who we thought would die brutally turn out to be the monster. We had another blonde girl get followed into an alley and knock her stalker on his ass. And we had someone who seemed like a main character in Jessie killed. But this was a step further. Flutie was a series regular and a character we were growing fond of. And he just got killed. And not just a random vampire killing, but he got eaten by a bunch of hyena spirit possessed students. On top of subverting our expectations yet again, this let us know that no one was safe, that at any moment one of our favourite characters could die. And they did. Buffy, our main character and hero, died twice in 7 seasons. Number 5, Buffy kills Luke and ends the harvest, in the harvest. Luke had already bested Buffy once before, catching her by surprise in the crypt. She was saved by the cross Angel had given her before fleeing to save Xander and Willow, but was unable to rescue Jessie. She breaks into the bronze, takes out some vamps before making a flashy entrance into the fight, dropping onto the pool table, handspringing off as she picked up a pool cue she uses to stake another vampire. She does a completely unnecessary cartwheel onto the stage before sending Luke flying with a kick. They fight, and he easily catches and disarms her when she attempts to stake him. Then we get this.
You forget. Metal can't hurt me.
There's something you forgot about, too. Sunrise. It's in about 9 hours, moron.
Embracing her intelligence over her strength, this was another indication that Buffy was more than just power. She was attractive, powerful, and smart. She was a modern Diana Prince, aka Wonder Woman. Number 4, Angel stakes Darla. Angel.
Angel?
Angel's tortured soul, feeling regret for everything the demon within him has done, actively tried to get Buffy to kill him after she discovered he was a vampire. But she couldn't do it. Buffy offers him her neck, but he can't do it either. Darla arrives with guns blazing. Angel takes a bullet, which can't kill him, but it takes him out for a while. She announces that Angel and her were together, that she made him. After releasing a torrent of bullets, Darla has Buffy pinned behind the counter, when Angel sneaks up behind her and plunges a crossbow bolt through her back and into her heart. She gives Angel a look of disbelief that he has betrayed her, saying Angel, before bursting into ash. Angel killed his sire, the one who made him a vampire, someone with whom he had been intimate and spent over 100 years. But he did it in order to protect Buffy. Number 3, Xander resuscitates Buffy. Prophecy Girl.
Breathe. Breathe. Come on. Buffy.
In Teacher's Pet, Xander had fantasized in his dream about saving Buffy and getting the girl. In Prophecy Girl, he was rejected by the girl, Buffy turning him down when he asked her to the dance as a date. But Xander puts aside his hurt to help Buffy when he found out about the prophecy in the Pergamon Codex. Seeking out Angel, they find Buffy face down in a pool of water. Angel pulls her out and she isn't breathing. Buffy is dead. She faced the prophecy and it was fulfilled. But prophecy is a tricky business. Not everything turns out exactly as it seems. So yes, while Buffy died, the prophecy didn't reveal everything. Xander performs CPR and gets his hero moment. Buffy is alive. The importance of chosen family is a constant theme throughout Buffy, and that significance is highlighted here, literally saving Buffy from death. Number 2, Angel is a vampire. Angel. Buffy and Angel had been oozing chemistry in the episodes prior, leading up to the moment that we had all waited for, their first kiss. Earlier in the episode, he had saved her from the three, and they had holed up in her house. He had stayed here all day, hidden in her room. There was a misunderstanding about her diary, some funny banter, and a mutual confession that they both wanted to kiss. The kiss happens, and as it gets more passionate, Angel pulls away. Buffy asks what's wrong. He turns back to the camera, revealing his vamp face.
What? What's wrong?
A shock revelation to us all, it was the stuff of supernatural fantasy. A vampire with a soul in love with a vampire slayer. And her in love with him. There may be debate among fans as to who her true soulmate is, but there's no doubt that the lead up to this kiss, and the kiss itself, started one of the most epic love affairs in teenage supernatural fantasy, a model that is often copied but seldom bettered. Number 1. Buffy's power walk and killing the Master. Prophecy Girl.
Where are your jives now? Will you laugh when my hell is on Earth?
You're that amped about hell? Go there.
She died. She was resuscitated, and now she feels powerful. The Buffy theme song plays, and she strides towards the Hellmouth to face the Master again. This is our hero. This is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. She faces him. He tries the hypnosis thing again. She fakes him out and punches him in the face. They fight. He grabs her around the throat. She grabs him back and says, "If you're that amped about hell, go there." She throws him through the skylight to the library onto a broken table that acts as a makeshift stake. The Master, one of the oldest vampires alive, is dead. Given we see what Sunnydale would be like had he risen in later episode The Wish, her victory here is significant. Not only has she defeated the Master, but she managed to cheat death itself. Now I could easily have replaced a number of these with other moments, such as Buffy resigning as the Slayer, Willow's vulnerability, Buffy's Zen Slayer moment in Out of Mind, Out of Sight, but I ultimately settled on these 10. Did I miss a moment that you think should have been included in this list? If so, put them in the comments below and why they should be there. In the meantime, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.